everybody's favorite bald-headed assassin returns in Hitman Blood Money for a lot more work. He's in top form in this game, and the game, once again, features a great blend of both stealth-based gameplay and pure run-and-gun shooting. And it's also got these great big new environments that are really the star of the show. Although the underlying gameplay is very similar to the previous Hitman games, just getting to experience some of these imaginative new levels is going to be plenty to give both Hitman fans and those who haven't played this series before a lot of stuff to remember and to play around with. You don't need to be familiar with the previous games in the series to be able to dive into this one. The first mission gives you plenty of instruction on how to actually play, and the storylines of the previous games are summarized in the context of this one. All you really need to know is that 47, the main character of the game, is this genetically engineered assassin, and he goes around killing bad people with prices on their heads. This isn't exactly a very kind-hearted game, but at the same time it's definitely got some dark humor in there and just a lot of style. There are more than a dozen missions in all, and the different settings of these places definitely steal the show. You've got everything from just a Egyptian-themed Las Vegas casino to a riverboat traveling down the Mississippi to a suburban household that's got a gangster held under the witness protection program to a Northern California rehab clinic and all kinds of very imaginative types of places that you don't normally see in games. The gameplay involves finding the person that you're supposed to kill, person or persons, and then killing them and then getting out. You can either do that by carefully observing your surroundings and carefully watching what these characters do and who's guarding them and so forth, or you can try to go in with guns blazing and watch what happens. Basically, the game is open-ended enough to let you first try one, and then if you blow your cover, then resort to shooting and see how far that gets you. As a pure shooter, the game is pretty standard. The artificial intelligence still is nothing special. Droves of guys will just come running at you and overwhelm you through sheer numbers. But as a sneaking game, it's much more interesting. There tend to be some very creative ways to dispose of the characters you're trying to kill in each of these assignments. That gives the game its replay value, especially since you're ranked at the end of each mission, and you even get to see a newspaper front page that's mocked up to describe what happened. This is really impressive at first, but after a while you realize that all these newspaper headlines pretty much follow the same template. One of the other new changes in Hitman Blood Money is this notoriety system. Basically, if you leave a trail of bodies in your wake and leave a whole bunch of evidence to what you just did, in the next mission you're going to be easier to detect. However, in between missions you can choose to pay a sum of money, basically to wipe your identity clean and negate the entire notoriety system, and this is a pretty small sum of money compared with how much you're making just by successfully completing an assignment. The rest of the gameplay really is quite similar to what was found in Hitman Contracts and Hitman 2. Basically, you can go in with a whole bunch of realistic guns. You've got pistols and rifles and submachine guns and so on, and some of these you can now customize with different laser sights and extra clips and all kinds of realistic accessories like that. But you've also got access to explosives and poisons and kitchen knives, what have you. Some of these things you might go out of your way to use just to have fun in the game's kind of open-ended environment, but really it's up to you how you choose to get the job done. If you were choosing between all the versions and you wanted to pick one, the 360 version is the way to go, not just because it looks the best, but also because it's got some unlockable achievements in there that encourage you to play through the game multiple times and basically get the most out of the gameplay. If you've played the previous Hitman games, you'll find that Blood Money offers a comfortably familiar experience, even though some of these missions definitely feel new and bigger and more intricate than before. They're some of the best missions in the Hitman games yet. At the same time, if you're new to this series, you're going to find a lot of stuff to play around with. There's lots of dark comedy in this game underneath its really serious-looking tone. And really, overall, this is a stealth action game that can keep you coming back quite a bit, even though there's just the single-player content to work with. It's not necessarily the most impressive game in the series, considering a lot of this stuff we've seen before, but still, if you're a fan of Hitman, definitely check this one out.